Something is going on, and honestly, this is one of those moments when the entire Taekook community feels the floor shaking under their feet because last night a rumor exploded out of nowhere. Fans are now claiming that Jungkook is hiding someone at his house. Yes, someone at his house, and the internet went straight into meltdown mode. The comments, the theories, the panic, the screenshots being shared at 3 a.m. You can feel the tension in every corner of the fandom. People are asking if this is the end of Taikook, if something happened behind the scenes, if Jungkook is keeping a secret, or if the whole rumor is just another attempt to divide the fandom once again. And here's the thing, this isn't one of those tiny whispers that disappear in 5 minutes. No, this is the kind of rumor that grabs everyone by the throat and refuses to die. Even people outside the Taekook community are talking about it, twisting it, using it to attack the ship, creating more chaos than answers. So today we're going to break this down calmly, but honestly. What started this rumor? Why are fans so convinced? What does this mean for Taekook? And most importantly, is there any truth behind the idea that someone was actually inside Jungkook's home? Before we dive into this mess, let me say one thing clearly. If you're a Taekooker, if you love the connection between Taehyung and Jungkook, if you're tired of other fandoms twisting every little thing just to start drama, then you need to be here. You're going to want to hear this entire breakdown because I'm not just giving you the rumor. I'm giving you the context, the reactions, the patterns, and the details a lot of people haven't even noticed yet. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now. This channel is the one place where Taekookers breathe, analyze, laugh, freak out, and survive the chaos together. And if you've been here before, you already know when things get messy in the fandom, we get louder, smarter, and stronger. Stay until the end because what I have to show you today is going to change the way you look at this entire situation. All right, let's talk about what actually started all of this. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm your Taekook obsessed friend who refuses to let this fandom get pushed around by rumors, hate comments, or people who think they can rewrite what we've all seen with our own eyes for years. This space is for the ones who actually pay attention, who don't fall for the noise, and who know that Taehyung and Jungkook's connection goes way deeper than what antis want to admit. And listen, if you love Taekook, if you enjoy analyzing their moments, their parallels, their timing, their energy, or if you simply love staying updated without the negativity, then you really need to subscribe right now. This channel is literally built for you. I post breakdowns, theories, updates, and all the messy fandom drama that everyone else is too scared to talk about. So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join the only corner of YouTube where Taekookers can actually breathe. And while you're here, drop a comment telling me where you're watching from and how long you've been shipping them. I love reading your stories because they're a reminder that this fandom is huge, loyal, and not going anywhere. All right, now that we're all here, let's get into the rumor that started this entire storm. Here's where everything started, and honestly, it's wild how fast things escalated. So let's go step by step because this rumor didn't appear out of nowhere. It grew, it built momentum, and before anyone realized it, the entire fandom was spiraling. Everything began after one of Jungkook's late-night live stream. You know how he is, relaxed, casual, talking to ARMY like he's FaceTiming a friend from bed. But this time, fans noticed something different, something that didn't match the usual vibe. It wasn't a dramatic moment. It wasn't a loud noise. It was the absence of something. A tiny pause, a reaction, a silence that made millions of people hit replay. People clipped it, zoomed in, slowed the audio, enhanced the shadows behind him. You know how the fandom becomes a full CSI team when something feels off. And suddenly the question exploded everywhere. Who was he looking at? Why did he pause? Was someone else in the room? Then came the screenshots, theories, posts claiming someone's reflection appeared on a surface behind him, comments saying he kept glancing to the right side of the room, almost like he was checking if someone was visible. Some fans swear they heard a faint movement, a breath, a whisper, something. And look, whether those things were real or pure imagination, the rumor spread like wildfire. Jungkook is hiding someone in his house. Within hours, hashtags were trending. Some Taekookers panicked. Other fandoms rushed to weaponize the rumor, twisting it into something much bigger than it ever should have have been. Pages started reposting cropped images, claiming they had proof, even though most of it was just shadows and distorted reflections that could have been anything. But here's the thing that really pushed the rumor into full chaos mode: Jungkook's reaction, because later in the live, he became noticeably more cautious, reading comments faster, moving differently, almost like he was suddenly aware that fans were noticing too much, and of course that only made people more suspicious. Was he hiding something? Was he hiding someone? Or was he just tired of the internet turning every small detail into a circus? No one knows. But that uncertainty is exactly what gave this rumor the oxygen it needed. And the worst part? People didn't just stop at questioning the situation. They immediately started dragging Taekook into it, as if one tiny moment inside Jungkook's house could erase years of parallels, interact, timing, body language, and emotional connection that fans have documented endlessly. Suddenly, the narrative wasn't just someone might be at Jungkook's house. It became Taekook is over. Jungkook moved on. See? They were never real. And that's when the fandom completely split in two. Panic on one side, defense mode on the other, and a whole lot of people who don't even follow Taekook crawling out of nowhere to throw fuel into the fire. But here's the truth. We've seen this pattern before. Every time something happens involving Jungkook's private space, people weaponize it, twist it, and use it to attack ships they already hated. This rumor wasn't born from facts. It was born from fear, speculation, and the internet's obsession with filling in blanks when idols try to protect their privacy. Yet the question remains, if Jungkook was hiding something, why did it suddenly feel like a threat to Taekook specifically? Let's talk about the impact this rumor had on the ship, and why some fans believe Taekook is in danger. And now we need to talk about the part that really shook the fandom: the impact this rumor had on Taekook. Because let's be honest, some people didn't stop at someone might be at Jungkook's house. No, they went straight to the nuclear option. Taekook is in danger. Taekook is done. Jungkook has someone in his life. Taehyung and Jungkook aren't connected anymore. It was dramatic, messy, and honestly predictable, because every time something questionable happens around Jungkook, Taekook becomes the target. Not because there's evidence, not because anything happened between them, but because there are entire groups of people who spend their days waiting for the slightest excuse to attack this ship. They don't need facts. They just need a moment of confusion to create an entire narrative. And this situation? Oh, they loved it. The moment the rumor about Jungkook hiding someone spread, people rushed, twist it against Taekook. Comments like, see, Taehyung isn't in the picture anymore. Tae and JK don't care about each other like they used to. If Jungkook has someone at home, Taekook is officially dead. But here's the part those people conveniently ignore. Taekook isn't a fantasy built on one live or one moment. It's years of undeniable connection, timing, energy, and emotional consistency. One rumor doesn't erase that. It never does. And deep down, the fandom knows it. Still, the atmosphere shifted. Some Taekookers felt uneasy. Others were angry. A lot of people didn't know what to believe, not because the rumor had actual weight, but because the fandom has been traumatized by years of outsiders attacking Taekook with any narrative they can find. You see it happen again and again. A tiny detail becomes a weapon, and suddenly, Taekookers have to defend something that was never in danger to begin with. But here's what really calmed some people down. When you step back and look at Jungkook's behavior over the past few months, nothing about this rumor aligns with the way he usually acts. If he was truly hiding someone, do you honestly think he would turn on a live while that person was there? Jungkook is many things: impulsive, chaotic, unpredictable, but reckless with his privacy is not one of them. He knows how fans react. He knows the consequences. He knows people will dissect every pixel of his screen. So why would he take that risk? It doesn't add up. But what about Taehyung? That's another part that people immediately dragged into this. The narrative became Taehyung hasn't reacted, so Taekook must be distant. Taehyung is doing his own thing, so the connection is fading. Taehyung doesn't care, as if silence equals distance, as if privacy equals disconnection, as if their dynamic hasn't survived far worse. The truth is, whether Jungkook has someone visiting his house, a friend staying over, or literally no one at all, it has nothing to do with Taehyung. Their connection doesn't crumble because of a rumor. If anything, Taekook has lived through years of speculation, mistranslation, fan wars, merchandise and actual company restrictions, and they're still here, still parallel, still aligned in ways that shake the fandom every single time. So the real question isn't, is Taekook in danger? The question is, why do people try so hard to make Taekook look fragile when it's one of the strongest connections in the fandom? Because deep down, everyone knows this ship has weight, it has history, it has impact, and that's why every small rumor becomes a battlefield. Now, if the rumor wasn't about Taekook crumbling, then what was really going on? And more importantly, what was Taehyung doing during all of this? Let's get into that. While the entire internet was melting down over Jungkook's live, Taehyung was quiet, calm, unbothered on the surface, but moving in ways that made Taekookers stop and stare. Because if you followed Taehyung long enough, you know his silence is never just silent. He communicates through timing, mood, energy, and the little things that most people miss, but the Taekook fandom has learned to track like experts. The first thing people noticed was his sudden shift online. No dramatic post, no public statement, just a subtle wave of activity that felt oddly well-timed. He liked certain posts, interacted with certain content, showed up just long enough for people to say, wait, why now? And this is where the Taekook brain kicked in. Fans began connecting dots, not because they're delusional, but because history keeps proving that Taehyung and Jungkook move in strange parallels. When one of them is under pressure, the other tends to surface or act differently. It's happened too many times to call it coincidence. Some fans pointed out that Taehyung seemed unusually reflective in his recent updates, not sad, not upset, just contemplative, like he was aware of the noise but choosing not to feed it. Others noticed he avoided posting anything that could be misinterpreted or twisted into a new narrative. He was careful, selective, intentional, and then there was the timing, the part that always drives people crazy. Because right when the rumor hit its peak, Taehyung posted something simple, something ordinary, something harmless, but it landed exactly when the fandom needed grounding. Taekookers immediately felt calmer, as if Tae knew the fandom was spinning and decided to give them a moment of reassurance without saying a word. Taehyung has this quiet way of stabilizing things. He doesn't jump into chaos. He doesn't add noise. He lets everyone scream, panic, argue, accuse, and then he appears with something so soft, so him, that the atmosphere shifts completely. And that's exactly what happened here. But the part that stood out the most, his energy. You can tell when Taehyung is stressed, you can tell when something is weighing on him, and you can tell when he's fine, grounded, centered, focused on what matters to him. And that version of Tae was the one we saw during this whole rumor wave. No signs of distance, no signs of worry, no signs that his connection to Jungkook was shaken in any way. And fans noticed, because if Taekook was truly in danger, if something major had shifted between them, Taehyung wouldn't look like this. History has proved again and again that their emotional states mirror each other. When Jungkook is overwhelmed, Tae reacts. When Tae is quiet, Jungkook becomes more careful. Their rhythms are intertwined whether outsiders like it or not. So the fact that Taehyung was this calm while aunties were screaming about Jungkook's house, that says a lot. A calm Taehyung is a controlled Taehyung, and a controlled Taehyung usually means things are fine. Or in simpler terms, if Taehyung isn't panicking, why should we? And with that in mind, we need to talk about the bigger picture, because whether the rumor was real, exaggerated, or completely imaginary, it reveals more about the fandom than about Taekook themselves. But before we go there, let's wrap everything up. So what do we take from all of this? A rumor started because of a lie. It grew because fans overanalyzed every sound, every shadow, every breath. It exploded because aunties weaponized it against Taekook. And it survived because the fandom is emotional, passionate, and always searching for answers. But when you look closely, nothing about this situation proves that Taekook is in danger. If anything, it proves how powerful the ship still is. Powerful enough that people will twist absolutely anything to shake the fandom. Jungkook's privacy became a battlefield. Taehyung's silence became a canvas for speculation. And once again, Taekookers found themselves defending a connection that has already survived years of rumors, exactly like this one. Here's the truth no one wants to admit: ships don't collapse because of rumors. They collapse when there is no history, no consistency, no emotional thread holding things together. But Taekook has survived everything. Distance, enlistment, schedules, controversy, fan wars, company restrictions, and yes, countless rumors like this one. If Taehyung isn't worried, why should the fandom be? So now I want to hear from you. Do you think there really was someone at Jungkook's house? Do you think the rumor was exaggerated? And most importantly, does any of this actually change your view of Taekook? Tell me everything in the comment. I read them all, and your theories are honestly the best part of this channel. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you subscribe right now. We're building a space where Taekookers can breathe, think, and talk without being attacked for it. And I'm not stopping. We have more theories to analyze, more parallels to uncover, and more chaos to survive together. Thanks for being here. Stay curious, stay calm, and as always, stay Taikooker.